Welcome to the Dental Practice Fixers podcast. This is episode 7, season 2. I am one of your hosts, Dr. David Maddow. I'm going to be bringing in my co-host right there in just a couple seconds, but this is actually our second episode that we're doing a live video. So not only can you continue to listen on iTunes and all the other, of course, audio episode apps that are out there, but audio podcast apps, I should say. But now we have our very own YouTube channel, the Dental Practice Fixers, where you can watch us in our studios. By the way, we're on different sides of the planet. I'm in Salt Lake, Rich is in Baltimore, Maryland. But not only can you see us do this live, kind of live, but you can interact with us. You can comment, you can like, you can ask questions, and right on the YouTube channel, under each episode, we can interact with you. So we're really excited. And I'll bring my buddy, business partner, brother, Dr. Rich, into the episode. What's going on?
Hey!
What's going?
It's great to be here for episode 7. Actually, the second video episode. Now, I suspect most people are still listening to audio only, and that's fine. So
I don't know
that way, but
I don't know.
And if you're curious what we look like, for better or worse, for richer, for poorer, or whatever, join us on YouTube. It's fun. You know what I noticed, and I don't think this is going to happen with the Dental Practice Fixers. I watch music videos and music instructional videos, music analysis, all kinds of things like that on YouTube. And it seems like the conversations in the comments start off kind of normal, and then they degrade into insults and politics and just all this low-level shit. I just don't understand why people do it. So if you're going to comment about the Dental Practice Fixers, even if it's a criticism or critique, please be kind. There's just no reason to be unkind or personal or mean. It doesn't help you any to do that.
It's funny, Rich. I think people like on Facebook, for the most part, people are fairly kind on Facebook. But then when you get into YouTube, it starts degrading a little bit. And the absolute worst, Twitter, people are just like trolling and saying really, really mean things. It just goes downhill from there. So hopefully, we're kind of in the middle of Facebook and Twitter. So hopefully people will be semi-kind.
I don't do anything on Twitter. I'm not saying it's right, it's not wrong. I just don't do Twitter. Hey, Twitter. I just don't do it. And now I'm even more glad I don't do it when you told me that things get degraded really quickly.
It really does. But YouTube, there's definitely some trolls out there that will
horrible.
Be very mean for some. I don't know. For some, they like people that just like hiding behind a keyboard for some reason. I'm not really sure, but
I just don't understand why, if you don't agree with somebody's opinion, you have to insult them personally.
Right.
Just tell them why you think your opinion's different, and maybe try to convince them to your opinion, but don't attack them personally.
Right. And then if that doesn't work, you can just say, well, you're an asshole. But
right. That might work. And maybe it's true, but I see people have been commenting on your post a lot.
Of course.
All right. Well, hey, again, thanks for that intro. Welcome to the Dental Practice Fixers. Let's get right to this, because we've got it's kind of a question. Well, you'll see what it is. It's really crazy. It comes from our good friend, Dr. Joanne Reif. And if you've been around us for a while, maybe you've heard her name. She's participated in the Maddow Brothers audio series many times. You've probably seen her and her fabulous team at TBSE in Las Vegas. She posts on the Dental Place sometimes. Just a really good person, a great dentist, fantastic practice. She takes so much continuing education. Is she ever actually in the office? I know you're her patient. Is she ever there?
She's always taking CE.
There's always a sign on the door that says like closed for CE.
Out for CE.
Right, gone fishing. Anyway, she's very informed. She knows a lot of things, and she keeps me and Dave abreast of a lot of developments in dentistry. And this is one that she sent that I thought was just fascinating. It says, saw this on Mommy Dentists in Business. That's a Facebook group. Mommy Dentists. I don't know. Mommy Dentists in Business.
Mommy.
Exactly. Shut up, kid. It's an ad by a Denver prosthodontist that was put on her blog, along with other blogs, that put down general dentists and touted why patients should go to a prosthodontist. She even stated in her blog that she sued the dentist that she bought the practice from. Then it goes on to say she was super criticized and wound up taking down the blog. And then, Joanne, I hope you don't mind if I read this, but your closing sentence is, "This woman has balls." I don't know if I've ever met a woman with balls. But anyway, I think you mean that metaphorically.
Maybe.
So what's Joanne talking about? Well, we decided to check it out. We checked out this prosthodontist blog. She's a prosthodontist in Colorado. We won't give her name or the name of her practice. But first on her blog, there's like this big ad comparing prosthodontists to general dentists. The point size is so small I can hardly read it, but it's like this big flow chart saying why prosthodontists are great and why general dentists suck. And it's comparing implants, and it says things like, general and cosmetic dentists have minimal formal training with dental implants. Their knowledge is often from evening and weekend courses. And she goes on to say that they make crappy temporaries, they use bad labs, they don't know how to maintain implants, all these things criticizing general dentists and why prosthodontists are better. And then she's got this next blog called Why Didn't Any Dentist Refer Me to You? And she's saying that patients complain, well, why didn't my dentist send me to a prosthodontist? So she says, here's why. Number one, they think they can do the work themselves. Number two, they need the revenue. The market's saturated with dentists, so referring patients can be costly, even if it's the right thing to do. Then three, they think the prosthodontist might criticize their work. Then they're saying, goes on to give some crazy example that a general dentist can refer to an endodontist, but the root canal specialist knows that your dentist is using cheap labs and they do bad work, but they don't tell you because they want to keep the referrals coming. Another blog, do you really need that crown? No, you might not need that crown, so why did your general dentist tell you need a crown? Well, there are a few reasons. One is money. Two is they've had a bad education. And three is they're overzealous to do treatment, such as CEREC, which involves removing way too much tooth structure and charging 4 times as much. One more blog, how I first learned about the dark side of dentistry. She's talking about this practice she bought where the dentist was overdiagnosing, overtreating, overcharging, and she wound up suing them. The dark side of dentistry. Wish you were here. What do you think? This is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Does not even halfway describe it. I don't even know what to say other than, first of all, I think she's a bitch. Hate to say it.
And she has balls.
Unbelievable. Okay. Obviously, what she said is horrible. It sounds to me like she's like desperate. But I'll take this back to something that, Rich, you and I learned I'd say several decades ago. You probably remember this. Back in the old days when we were very new at our dental conference, TBSE. By the way, if you don't know about TBSE, check it out. TBSE.com. It stands for the best seminar ever. But, Rich, we were sometimes guilty of, instead of, like when we had marketing and advertisements and talking about our seminar, we were sometimes guilty, I will admit this, about maybe trying to knock down other seminars and say maybe bad things about other seminars. But I remember somebody once messaged us and said, hey, guys, listen, you guys are the best. You've got the best seminar ever. That's why it's called that. You guys are on top of your game. Why stoop low and knock the competition when you guys are already the best? And both of us thought about that. We said, you know something? You're right. And from then on, we just talked about the benefits of coming to TBSE and how it can help you and your practice. And we never took stabs at other dental seminars. It just wasn't worth it. And this woman, if she's that good, all she has to do is prove it by doing great work, being kind to her patients, building a practice that way, and saying good things. You know, these days, Rich, we say good things about other dental conferences because there's some really, really good ones out there.
Most of them are great. Most of them are really good.
Yeah.
So she's kind of shooting herself in the foot too, because a prosthodontist wants referrals from general dentists. And some of the things she said, anybody with half a brain, how do you know my general dentist uses a cheap lab? How do you know my general dentist is overcharging? How do you know they're desperate for revenue? You're making some blanket statements here that are completely false. Well, that was a blanket statement also. You're making some blanket statements here that are typically false. And it's unbelievable. And I think maybe this also opens up a broader discussion about the relationship between general dentists and specialists. Maybe these days it's more frustrating than ever being a specialist because with advances in technology and some fantastic hands-on CE courses, general dentists are doing more treatment than ever that used to be called specialty treatment. But we're both general dentists, Dave. Mm-hmm. We know you need fantastic specialists who you trust to refer to. You need fantastic specialists who are going to compliment you when they come in and say, oh, that root canal looks great, this crown looks great, whatever it is. You don't need this kind of BS. How can that be good for anyone?
This is just so disheartening. And, like in anything, like there are great general dentists and there are horrible general dentists. Just like there are probably great prosthodontists and horrible prosthodontists. I graduated there was a guy in my class, Rich, you know him, Dr. Tony Lara. He was second in my class. The guy had like hands of gold. I would put him up against any prosthodontist out there. And for this woman to say that all general dentists do shoddy work and they don't know what they're doing, I'll put him up against her in a second, because it's just simply not true. It's horrible to hear stuff like that.
It really is. And, back to your earlier comment about TBSE, I think usually when somebody's only way of moving forward is to criticize others, that's a big problem. And I'll tell you something else that we both learned early on in our career, and that is, no matter how tempting it is, no matter how true it is, don't criticize the work of a colleague. Don't criticize the work of a fellow dentist. I think we've all been in that situation where a patient comes in, a lot of times it's an emergency, and they just open their mouth and you see like the crappiest work you've ever seen in your life. And your first thing you want to do is, who did this piece of shit? But you know what? First of all, it never gets you anywhere. They probably loved their old dentist. Mm-hmm. And secondly, you weren't there when it was done. You don't know the circumstances. You have no idea how poorly this patient treated this restoration. You have no idea how much they were squirming and screaming and crying while the dentist was trying to do their very best. You just don't know, and it doesn't get you anywhere to criticize. Just say, I can just tell you exactly what we see here today, and that is this, and this is the way we can treat it, and it's going to turn out beautifully. Instead of saying, oh, well, this thing is horrible, it needs to be redone. Doesn't get you anywhere.
And along another line, I will say, neither of us touched on this one yet, Rich, but I'm willing to bet that what she's saying, because I think in most states, the Board of Dental Examiners or whatever it might be in your state does not allow you to say that you're superior to another dentist and to tell the public that other dentists are bad. I mean, that's pretty much illegal in every state. And if the board gets a hold of this thing, I think she's in big trouble.
It's illegal in 49 states, actually. Yeah, I agree. She should be thrown in dental jail.
Yeah. I mean,
apparently I don't know if I'd use the word retracted, but she's taken all this stuff down. She's learned her lesson.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
I just don't think that it looks good for the future. No one's going to refer to her.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll refer to her as something, but they won't refer to her as a dentist.
Just doctors, if you're listening, doctors, team members, just always take the high road. Do the best you can. Take CE. Make sure your treatment is great. Take great care of your patients. And talk up the profession. There are a lot of great dentists out there and great team members. And talk them up. We're all kind of on the same team, so to speak. And
yep.
And just it's just saying something bad about the profession like that doesn't do anybody any good. It's just horrible.
This is a little bit off topic, but it's a little bit of a tangent. But this all talk about general dentists and specialists reminding me of this. I think sometimes we're in a tough spot when we do need to refer, and the patient loves us, and they don't want to leave the office, and they say, well, why do I have to go to this specialist? Can't you do it here?
And you say, well, I can't do it here because I don't know what the F I'm doing.
It's so funny. I remember early in my career, I asked kind of a mentor, what do you say in that situation? He said, well, tell the patient that the specialist has different instruments that they have just for their specialty. I thought that is the worst answer. I've heard that many times.
Different instruments?
That's the worst answer.
Specialist has different instruments.
Yep, different instruments. They have an oboe. I never liked that one. It's a tough question.
What's a good answer for that? Because that happens all the time. The patient says, oh, Dr. Maddow, please, can't you do this incredibly difficult procedure in your office? I want you to do it.
Well, Sarah, we do root canals in this practice. About 90% of the patients that come in needing root canals, we do them. But every once in a while, there's a tooth that's just very complicated, whether the canals are all curved and twisted, or it's a root canal that's already been done and is infected and needs to be redone again. And that's why we have specialists to do the most complicated, difficult cases. If I thought that I could do this perfectly, which I can with just about every root canal, I'd gladly do it for you here. But this is one of those rare cases where I feel like you should be in the hands of a specialist, just like sometimes your physician wants to refer to you to a specialist because they're just more comfortable with doing that. And as soon as that's finished,
Yeah.
We're going to see you back in this practice. You're still our patient. You'll be here. It's just something like that. Just, no need to get more complicated.
Doctor, you're saying that I'm a rare case? I'm like an anomaly? What's wrong with me?
You should take that as a compliment.
No, but I get it. That's a good answer. And who's going to argue with that? Look, I think it's most important to look the patient in the eye and say, I want the best for you. I want to make sure, and this is not a routine root canal. I just want to make sure it's done perfectly. That's why there are specialists out there. But as soon as he or she is finished, you're coming back to me. We're going to finish the tooth, implant, whatever it might be.
And by the way, that screaming brat you bring in with you every time, they have to go to a specialist too. A special doctor called a pediatric dentist. That brat here.
Very spatial.
Very, very spatial.
Very spatial.
They're going to use those special gold T matrix bands on them, not the silver ones, the gold ones.
Why are the gold ones? Why do you like why are they better? Why do you use those?
I prefer these.
Okay, that's a good answer. It's as good as any.
Hey, before we get on with the call, I just want to make a quick comment. A bunch of people have been asking us about our master classes. Our master classes are something we do every couple months, typically in our home office of Baltimore, Maryland. We have a fantastic facility there, very comfortable and fun, where we do our master classes. As you know, the dental practice fixers have been doing individual coaching for practices for quite a while now. We have a great success rate, and coaching can be a very intimate relationship. It's different than going to a seminar or reading a journal. We're really there as a part of your practice. And many people want to learn, well, what would that be like to work with you? And that's why we do these master classes for people that are interested in growing their practices and want to know what it's like to work with us as their coaches. We do them for free. They're in Baltimore every couple months. We've got some going on right now. You can sign up. It's masterclass.matto.com.
You got it.
You can tell I was struggling to come up with the website there. Masterclass.matto.com. Again, it's a great day. We get to know you. You get to know us. Some of our coaching team will be there. We can talk about your practice, about your successes, about your struggles, even maybe brainstorm, offer you some suggestions. But the real purpose is, if you think you might want to work with us as your coaches, this is a way, in a very safe environment, for very little expense, you can come and see what it's all about. So masterclass.matto.com. We'd love to see you in an upcoming masterclass.
We hope to see you there. And by the way, before we get into the call, as Rich and I are trying to help you any way we can in your practice, there's something else we came across fairly recently that we've been helping a ton of practices with, and it's something that every single dental office is doing already. So we're not asking you to do anything new, but you are accepting credit cards for payment. I'm sure 99.9% of dental offices are accepting credit cards. But here's the thing. There's an old way to do it, and there's a new way to do it. Because the old way basically is there's a processing company that takes a percentage from every single transaction. You do a crown, you do a bridge, you do implants, and somebody charges it. They take a pretty nice percentage of your production, of your collections there. There's a new way to do it. It's called Fat Merchant, and there's just, Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's only a monthly fee. It's only one fee, small fee per month, and it doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter if you're collecting $1 million a month. We hope you are, but it doesn't matter. You're still paying the same monthly fee. So it's something you're already doing.
You still have to pay Visa, MasterCard, Amex. They have their percentage.
Of course.
The processing company, I just want to clarify, takes no percentage.
The processor takes no percentage. Thanks for clarifying that. Changing merchants has been very difficult in the past because it was a whole rigmarole, very complex. Now it's pretty much a phone call and or a few clicks on a website, and seamlessly you're changed to Fat Merchant. We really believe in them. We've been talking them up for quite some time. It's never been easier. You're leaving money on the table if you keep your old credit card processing company. So what we're going to recommend is check out Fat Merchant. I want to make sure I give you the right link. And if you're watching the video, it's going to be below also. It is simply bit.ly. It's bit.ly/fatmad. And it's spelled in case you're listening to audio, it's FATTMAD. So the whole thing together, it's right below if you're watching video, bit.ly/FATTMAD. Check them out. It's a one-time change that doesn't cost you anything, and it's going to save you money every single month in your dental practice. Who doesn't want that? It's a no-brainer.
I'm in.
Same.
We are in, actually. We use them at the Matto Center.
We use them. Sure. We believe in them and we use them as well. Sure, of course.
All right. Let's go to our call. Should be fun.
Sounds great.
Thank you for calling. This is Julie.
Hey, quick question for you. I live near your office. I was thinking about making an appointment for a cleaning, but I don't know much about it. Can you tell me a little bit about the doctor?
She's a female.
Excuse me?
She's female.
She's female, okay.
A female doctor. That's the only dentist in this office. Been practicing how many years, Steph? Do you know how long she's been here? 22 years? Sound about right? Heck, I don't know.
You don't know?
22 years, maybe. Full, sees children, adults, general dentistry, most surgeries, extractions, anything like that, things like root canals and implants, big things like that always get referred out to another doctor, but everybody seems to love her.
Why do big things get referred out to another doctor?
Yeah, because she's just general. She doesn't do the root canals and the extractions and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks so much for that information. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Wow. What do you think?
Oh my God. What do I think? What do I think about that? I'll tell you what I think. She's a female.
Oh, thank you.
Female.
She is?
She's a female. Oh, okay. Sign me up.
That's the most you can say about her?
I want to tell you something. Rich, these things, do they just write themselves? I mean, I want to make it clear to all of our listeners and viewers now, these are not scripted. They're not fake. We take a phone number at random and ask a question. And in 99.9% of the cases, the calls are like this. It's unbelievable.
I'll tell you, in 1955, maybe saying the doctor's a woman might have meant something. These days, with dental school classes being more than 50% female, thankfully, and nobody flinches at what gender, their doctor, their accountant, their lawyer. I mean, that's really from the old days. We don't care anymore. To make that the first thing you say, and I have to tell you, because I looked up this person's phone number, the woman's name is on the practice. So it's obviously a woman's name. And they answered it with her name, which you got beeped out so you couldn't hear that.
It wasn't like Pat, right? It wasn't like Dr. Pat.
No,
it was definitely a female name, right?
Well, she's a female. Okay, great. How long has she been? I don't know how long she's been practicing. I don't know.
How long has she been practicing? I think how long? 22 years, something like that.
Something like that. And then she will, instead of saying how great she was, she started saying negative stuff. She doesn't do root canal. She doesn't do extraction. She doesn't do implants. Perfect. Sounds like the office for me.
Before she said that, I thought it was really funny. This is very, very helpful. She treats people I think they said she treats patients and kids or adults and kids or something. That's a tremendous help. Wow.
Perfect.
She said, I'll tell you something. She said one thing that if she would have based the call on this one thing and expanded on it, it would have been so great. She said one thing I thought that was very good. Do you remember what that was?
Everybody loves her.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone seems to love her, which is great. But that's the only good thing she said the entire. Otherwise, she didn't know what to say.
Horrible. It wasn't that tough of a question. Tell me a little bit about your doctor.
No, not tough at all. Especially if every single person on the team knows the quality and believes in the doc and has been going to she could have said, look, everybody here sees whatever her name, we're not going to give her name, sees her. We've been seeing her. My family's been going to her for 10 years. She is great. She's so gentle. Her work is beautiful. Anything.
Okay, let's make a suggestion. Have a team meeting, and everybody should have kind of an elevator speech. Tell me about your doctor. And anybody listening to this should be able to say a 30-second little spiel about how great your doctor is. She's been here for 22 years. She's so gentle. So many people in the community come here, including us. We come here. Our whole family comes here. We all love her. She makes beautiful smiles, and she really makes great personal connections because she takes the time to listen to every single patient. I mean, could you imagine if she just said something like that?
But guess what, Rich, to take it a step further, it's a really good exercise because to take it a step further, somebody calls an hour later and says, how much is a cleaning? You can skirt that question and then go really deeply into how great of an office and how great the doctor is, and totally, shield that question. And
let me tell you a little bit about our doctor.
Exactly. You want to know how much cleaning is? Well, it sounds like you're looking for a new dentist. Is that right? Yeah, we are. Well, let me tell you about our doctor. It could be like a home run.
And this is also part of our Alaska system. Those of you using our Alaska system as kind of a loose phone script when a new patient calls, the K in Alaska stands for kindness. And in 10 seconds of that kindness, you brag about your doctor, you brag about your practice. But again, we're not big believers in like word for word scripting, but you should be able to, boom, spew something great about your doctor anytime it's necessary. And if you can't, you're probably in the wrong practice.
This woman was just, again, there always are surprises when somebody asks a question or calls the office. And like our last episode, you've got to think on your feet really quickly. And asking a little bit about the doctor is not that difficult of a question. And to say, well, she hesitated and said, well, she's female. She's female. Oh,
I had to check. I just checked. She is female.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know.
That's the first thing you say. She's female.
She said it twice too. She had to say it twice. She's female. She's female.
Now I wonder if she were working in a guy's practice, or she would say, "Well, he's a man." I doubt it.
That's a really good point. So it's kind of sexist right there. Well,
exactly.
Female. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm turning in. I'm voting early on this one. I've got an early vote. I'm turning my vote in.
Early, vote often. What's your vote?
F. Totally F.
Well, you're going to be shocked the grade I give, but F as well. Double F. She got double F'd.
I'll tell you, Rich, we should just, at some point, we hope to get somebody that does a great call and we're able to give somebody an A or an A minus or even a B plus.
I'm glad you brought that up. These are not edited. We don't like put the thing on pause and make 20 calls and then come back.
We really don't.
Not the way it works. They just are not good every single time. Nobody knows what to say. Hey, if you've got a suggestion for a question to ask or a really cool mystery shopper call of the week, please send it to us at podcast@matto.com. Or is it podcasts@matto.com?
We ask this every time, and I think
maybe it's both by now.
We have the system fixed for sure. I think we prefer podcast, a singular podcast@matto.com. But I think Sylvia has worked her magic. I believe.
Right, unbelievable.
It will go to us.
Send us a question for the call of the week. We'd love to do it for you live.
Of course, if a lot of people reach out to us on Facebook with questions by messenger. Any way you want to get to us, you know how to get to us. We've been around long enough. And again, if you're watching the video version of this, please comment, like, react, whatever you want to do, and we will ask a question and we'll try to answer it right there in YouTube. Dental Practice Fixers on YouTube. Search for it.
Super cool. Thanks so much, everyone, for being with us, whether it's audio or video or all of the above. This was episode 7, season 2 of the Dental Practice Fixers. I'm Dr. Richard Matto.
Dr. David Matto. We will see you next time. Thanks for being with us.